Hey Easterlingers, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good day. So we're back with a final wizard, Mechanicus Standard Grey and White Scar as a zenithal highlight primed. We did this on all the wizards so far. We're going to continue with this. And we're starting off with some Magmadroth Flame. This is one of the new Citadel contrast paints. And as you can see with the White Scar and the Grey under primer, you can see the difference with this orange, because normally this orange just on white or just on gray is very flat. There's not much of a contrast to it. So thankfully having this subtle zenithal highlight makes a big difference, and it actually shows some of it. And I wanted this guy to have a really bright orange just like he has in the artwork. This miniature was quite intimidating at first, actually, when I saw all the details this guy has. I try to do as much as I can of those details, but I am not super focused on details that much because I'm like, I am not that great of a detail painter. But I hope you guys are enjoying this video, so hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. A little bit of Verdigris now. This is from Vallejo Game Effects. This was this weird, at first I didn't know what it was, then I realized it's a snake head that he has on him. He's got the tongue going down. Anyways, a pretty interesting creature on the front of his. And this is a blue I've been looking for, but I didn't know. Anyways, I don't know why it's called a game effect. It looks like an ink to me, or a wash. Anyways, now we're using a little bit of Cygor brown now, just around that snake head. We're using that on the sheath of his dagger, his belt that goes around here. We're also going to use it on his staff as well, and the tongue and the eyes of that serpent, because they were brown as well on the earth. Well, I didn't see the tongue, if it was brown or not, but I just said, oh well, why not? You know, it's part of the ensemble. Like I said, his staff here. Now, I'm not sure if the top of his staff was actually like a flame or like something supposed to be, or is it just like wood? Or I have no idea. I mean, it looks more like a cane too, so I'm not sure. So I just went with the dark, or the Cygor brown on it, just to keep that going for now. Moving on to some Fyreslayer flesh for the skin. So his head and his hands, and I get his beard because it's not a big deal. I just wanted to get the details of like his mouth and all that stuff. Again, you're gonna paint over this later on with another kind of paint, so it doesn't make a difference really. And Fyreslayer flesh a little darker than what I wanted. I also do his feet, which includes sandals, which I'm gonna have to paint later. And I thought I was done with sandals after Ankh, but unfortunately no. Royal cloak now. We're gonna be doing this as an edge trim on his wonderful cloak, or his robes, and also gonna do the inside part of the robes. So like whatever's showing as like his sleeve on the inside of his coat or his robes, he's got this nice royal blue color. Now I could have used this on that snake face too, because it's really close to it, but I didn't want it to be too thick. I did water it down a bit for this part, but I actually left it a little thicker than usual just so that we'd cover up that orange really well, because I already put the orange on the inside too, and then realized, oh okay, I had to do the inside part of his sleeves. So, you know, just take your time doing the edges here, and it's just around the front and the back on the sides kind of thing, not too much, you know. I mean, it just gives a little bit more oomph to this miniature. By the way, this guy is actually from Massive Darkness 1, the original game, and it was upgraded for Massive Darkness 2. And I do have a lot of new miniatures that I got recently from Massive Darkness 1 that are upgraded. If you guys would like to see those paint on the channel, I know there's a million of them out there already. I want to see at least 10 comments of yes and about 20 likes on this video, and I will keep painting those Massive Darkness 1 miniatures for Massive Darkness 2 on the channel. Some clear orange now. This is a Vallejo model color paint. We're going to be doing a couple little details here. As you can see on those horns, I'm doing these lines like he has in the artwork, as close as possible to that. We're also doing the outline of the eyes of the snake in the orange, just like he has in the artwork as well. You don't necessarily want to use a contrast paint or anything on that here, because it will, you know, just wash away, like it'll move away from the raised edges. You just want to touch those a bit. We're using some lemon yellow now for the eyes and these little ornament details on that face there, on that snake head or whatever it is. These little crevices here and there, just to give it a little bit more of a detail-oriented look. Some mummy robes now. We're doing this on this, like, I don't know, there's a word for this. It's something I've seen like priests have worn, monks I think wear this, or something like that. Anyways, it's like a satchel. Could it be a satchel? No, the satchel is usually sideways. Anyways, whatever this is covering up like the back and the front here. So we're using these mummy robes on that, and you know, very light because I wanted something gray to pop through anyways. You don't want to put it too heavy. One coat is good enough. We're also going to be doing the sandals with this color as well. Super hard to get because it's so close to the base, and there's like little tiny details of the straps and that. I didn't do a great job. That's why I'm hitting the base a lot, just because I wanted to make sure I got the bottom part of those sandals, and I didn't want to miss out on anything on those. But I try not to hit the toes, but I did a little bit. And then again, we'll go back to a little bit of details around those horns on top. Want to make sure you get those. This is just like nice little fancy details. Some oak brown now to tip off the horns. That's going to finish that part. We're also going to use this on all the like straps or the cords that are holding all these, like, well, these are like, I don't know what they are, like pots or jewelry or ornaments. I have no idea what they are. But they're all like interconnected by all these ropes, so I'm using this oak brown on all those ropes just to make them pop a little bit more on the orange. And the artwork, I think they were a little bit lighter brown. I mean, you can do what you want with it, of course. I'm not forcing you guys to use my colors here. This is just what I use, and it's inspiration for noobs out there who are learning to paint. Bleached skull now to do his wonderful beard. Again, don't want to put too heavy because that Gulliman flesh can come through a little bit, which is great. It'll give a little bit more character. His eyebrows, and I do dab some of this into his eyes to make his eyes pop white like they are in the artwork. Yeah, there you go. For once I got the eyes right. Some Banshee brown. Now we're going to go back next to that blue, that royal cloak there, and do another edge trimming here. Some more fancy details. I'm not usually fancy detail oriented, but I wanted this kind of look as close as possible to the artwork, and he has so many cool details. I didn't want to leave that much out. I mean, you could just leave them all orange, but like, come on, you know, you got to give him his due credit here. When you're painting this guy, and also to the artists of the games, you know, they work hard in creating the artwork, and you want to try and get it as close as possible to what they're doing, and that's what I try here, and to do it as easily as possible as well. Retributor armor. Now we're gonna be doing all those little pots and stuff like that. I did a little bit of ornaments there on top of his sandals. I don't know if they're pots or whatever they are, ornaments. So there's a few of those dangling around. They're weird because there's holes in them. Sometimes I didn't cover up the hole so that the orange came through still, just to give it a little bit more depth. But you know, just go leisurely on it. Do what you want to do with it. You know, there's also these now wizard rings maybe on his wrists. I don't know what they are. Maybe just bracelets or whatever. So you're gonna want to paint those as well. Just to make sure that you follow again with the artwork and all that. And again, don't put it on too thick, okay? Just, you can water down your brush a bit before, or just spread it out as much as you can, so that you keep those details. As when I started painting, that was one mistake I used to make, is put my paint on way too thick, and you lose a lot of those details. And then we're going to finish off the miniature with a little bit of Agrax Earthshade. We're going to be putting that on that thingy there, the cover or whatever on it, just to give it a little light brown of a shade to it. Not too thick. I touch up a little bit of here and there, like the sandals I'm going to do as well, just to give the sandal straps a little bit more color. It darkens down the skin, but hey, you know, not the end of the world. And there you have it, folks. Mathrin the Wizard is painted and ready for Massive Darkness 2. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all in the next one.